Our parasha leads off with the following words, Ki tetzei lamilchama al oivecha, a pasuk that resonates with profound wisdom. When you embark on the battlefield against your adversaries, many Meforashim teach us that the symbolic enemy we are engaged with is none other than the Satan, the Yetzer Hara. In the relentless fray between virtue and vice, the tug of war between the righteous path and the seductive allure of transgression, the deliberation of should I or shouldn't I reverberates incessantly the age-old conflict between good and evil. Yet in the realm of warfare, there exists a fundamental choice in how we prepare ourselves for the inevitable clash. Either we adopt a posture of vigilance, waiting for the enemy's assault to descend upon us, or we boldly stride forward to confront the adversary head-on. This pasuk is teaching us clearly that we must embark on the battlefield, confronting the Yetzer Hara before it encroaches upon us. For as we all well know, the struggle intensifies immeasurably when the Satan has already taken residence within our very being. We're 8 days into Elul, and once again we find ourselves standing on the annual battlefield, a battlefield that directly pits us against the Yetzer Hara, an adversary as persistent as it is enigmatic, ever shifting to present us with new shticks, new tricks. Now is the time to plant our feet firmly, to stand resolute, and to embark upon a spiritual audit of our lives, tallying each precious moment while checking the boxes on our spiritual scorecard. Allow me the privilege of sharing a remarkable story to illustrate. 6.5 years ago, in the heart of Petach Tikva, a tragic car accident shook the community to its core, leaving an innocent young boy in critical condition. Imagine a father faced with the grim reality that his son's only chance of survival hinged on a single gifted surgeon who happened not to be on staff at Bellinson Hospital, where they found themselves. The hospital team advised the father they would do their best to reach out to Dr. Jacobs, and suggested that he do the same using every influential contact and connection that he had. This distraught father was not one to be deterred, and he left no stone unturned while trying to locate this famous Dr. Jacobs. He was relentless, and with an urgency in his voice, he finally reached the doctor on his cell phone, pleading for his son's life. With unwavering determination, the father implored, and the doctor, recognizing the gravity of the situation, agreed that he would indeed come to the aid of this young boy. The clock ticked away, each minute laden with uncertainty. 30 minutes, then an hour, and finally an agonizing hour and a half. No sign of Dr. Jacobs. The father called again, and he asked the doctor, "Doctor, are you coming? The hospital says it's literally now, it's life or death. Please, are you coming?" Another hour passes, then 4, then 5, and finally, after 6 hours of waiting, the doctor arrives at the hospital with absolutely zero bedside manner. No hello to the father or the staff, just a beeline to the operating room where he performs the 3-hour surgery, leaves the OR, and walks directly out of the hospital without exchanging a single pleasantry with anyone. Not a word on the success, or for that matter, the demise of the surgery. The father, consumed by a whirlwind of emotions, confronted the doctor. His frustration was boiling over. "Would you also wait 6 hours if it was your own son's life hanging in the balance?" An unadulterated anger was surging through him, yet little did he know the tragic circumstances that had befallen the doctor himself. Yes, within those hours of waiting, the doctor was grappling with a personal tragedy of immense proportions, the loss of his own child in the very same car accident. The first call he received was during the preparations for the levaya of his son, while the second call came in the midst of the levaya itself. And while he walked both in and out of the hospital in the depth of his mourning, he was an avel. He was forbidden to exchange even the simplest greetings during this period of mourning. This true heartbreaking story serves as a poignant reminder on the power of perspective. How often do we find ourselves quick to judge without understanding the intricate web of circumstances that shape a person's actions? In fact, Chazal teach us that Am Yisrael is required to give the benefit of doubt when judging a person. But are you aware that this is a b'di avad only? L'chatchila, we are strongly cautioned against judgment, for it is a task only achievable when every detail of the vision aligns perfectly. The people, the situation, the time, the place, all mirroring one another in perfect unison. In simpler terms, it's virtually impossible to walk in another's shoes, and therefore we have no business casting judgment upon anyone. Actually, it's 100% asur. During this sacred month of Elul, as we prepare for introspection and self-evaluation, let us remember this valuable lesson. We beseech the divine judge, the ultimate arbiter, to grant us the same benevolence and understanding that we often struggle to extend to others. Ladies and gentlemen, naturally there are dozens of places for us to improve, but perhaps this story can be our guidepost, choosing compassion and understanding as each one of us carries a story that simply cannot be fully comprehended from the outside. In this season of reflection, let's not tip the scales, but realign them in favor of empathy and kindness. Let us all aspire to be judges of mercy rather than judgment. The world is midah keneged midah. Now is the time to separate from the herd and the relaxing swings of summer and transition our thinking to Yom Hadin and the coming of Mashiach b'mheira and b'yameinu. Shabbat Shalom.